Hey guys, how are you? It is Thursday, April 15th, and I am working on Diamond Art Club's Colorful Butterfly still. I kind of pushed it off to the side, so I finished this one. Isn't it so cute? She's gonna love it. I have another one coming for her. Oops. So it's been a while since I've done a drill with me. I wish you guys can see it more. I guess it's gonna have to be that way. Sorry. So today I have, as soon as I open up my tablet, I am doing Titanic. It's Titanic Day. Well, technically yesterday was Titanic Day, but it's still kind of Titanic Day because it sank at 2:20 in the morning. So I thought I would just do a story of it. I love Titanic. I was watching it yesterday. I still have to finish watching the other half. And, yeah. So, let's get started. This is my new pen. I got one of the new pens I got off of Amazon. As well, I love Amazon pens now. So, they work so good. Okay, RMS Titanic was a British passenger liner operated by the White Star Line that sank in North Atlantic Ocean on April 15th, 1912, after striking an iceberg during her maiden voyage. From Southampton, New York, from Southampton to New York City, of the estimated of 2,200 or 224 passengers and crew on board. More than 1,500 people died, making more than 1,500 people died, making the sinking at the time one of the deadliest of a single ship, and the deadliest peacetime sinking of superior liner or cruise ship to date. Where was this one going? Oh yeah, right here. Okay, with much public attention in the aftermath, the disaster has been the material of many artistic works, a founding material of disaster film gear. Titanic was under the command of Captain Edward Smith, who also went down with the ship. The ocean liner carried some of the wealthiest people in the world, as well as hundreds of immigrants from Great Britain and Ireland and Scandinavia, I think it's called, and elsewhere throughout Europe, who were seeking a new life in the United States. The first class accommodation was designed to be the pinnacle of comfort and luxury, with a gymnasium, swimming pool, libraries, a high-class restaurant, and opulent cabins. A high-powered radio telegraph transmitter was available for sending the passengers micrograms and for the ship's operational use. The Titanic had advanced safety features such as watertight compartments and remotely activated water weight doors. The ship carried 16 lifeboats, which could lower 3 lifeboats for the total of 48 lifeboats. However, Titanic carried only a total of 20 lifeboats, 4 of which were collapsible and proved hard to launch during the sinking. The lifeboats carried were supposed to be enough for 1,178 people, about half of the number on board. One of her third capacity due to maritime safety regulations of those days. At the time, the sinking, the lowered lifeboats were only about half filled. So that's a lot, you know. I watched this documentary on Disney Plus about the Titanic, and it was actually really interesting. Like, they did a lot of experiments and stuff like that, and if they overfilled those lifeboats, they were right. They would have broken and buckled. Just like the captain said or one of the crew members said in the movie. So, yeah. So, I mean, I just feel so bad to this day that had happened, and, you know. And I love that movie. It's my favorite movie. It's mine and my aunt's favorite movie. It's like our thing together. Okay. After leaving Southampton on April 10th, 1912, Titanic called at Cherbourg in France, and Queenston, now in Ireland, before heading west to New York. On April 14th, 4 days into the crossing, about 375 miles, 600 kilometers south of Newfoundland, she had hit the iceberg around 11:40 at the ship's time. The collision caused the hull plates to buckle, along her starboard right-hand side, open 5 or 16 watertight compartments to the sea. She could only survive 4 flooding. Meanwhile, passengers and some crew members were evacuated in lifeboats, many of which only partially loaded. A number of men were left on board because women and children first were protocol. And that's just the way it was back then. I'm not sure if it's still women and children first up to this day, but I know back then everything was always women and children first. On that color. Now, okay, at 2:20 a.m. she broke apart and foundered with the well of over 1,000 people still on board. Just under 2 hours after Titanic sank, the Cunard liner of the RMS Carpathia arrived and brought aboard an estimate about 710 survivors. It's neat, actually. I went to the Pigeon Forge Museum in in Tennessee, the Titanic one there. And believe it or not, I got a Canadian survivor. So there were actually some Canadians on that ship. And I forget what her name was. I have the card somewhere, but yeah. Anyways, so, and I love that museum. It's so nice in there. I miss it. I would love to go back. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, what time are we at? 1:13, okay. It's just I got a class at like 2 o'clock, so. The wreck of the Titanic was discovered in 1985 by a Franco-American expedition sponsored by the United States Navy. The ship was split in two and gradually is disintegrating at the depth of 12,415 feet at 2,069 fathoms. So it's 1,000 feet below the water. It's like on the ocean floor. And they're saying that probably by within the next few years it'll be all gone, because it's all like falling apart and stuff like that, because they did another documentary saying that, I forget which one it was. It's on the History Channel. I was watching it. Okay, Titanic has been one of the most famous ships in history and numerous works of culture, including books, songs, films, exhibits, memorials. The Titanic is the second largest ocean liner wreck in the world, only being surpassed by her sister ship HMS Britannic. However, it is the largest sunk while in the surface, as the liner Britannic was used as a hospital ship at the time of her sinking. The final survivor of the sinking, Milavina, being aged 2 months at the time, died in 2009 at the age of 97 years old. So that's pretty amazing. I mean, just to even live that long. Okay. I guess I can talk about the layout of the deck. Okay. So, dimensions in the layout. Titanic was 802 feet inches long, and her total weight measured from base of the kneel of the top of the bridge was 104 feet, measured at 32 meters. She measured 46,328 gross jet registrations and 10 tons with a draught of 30 feet 7 inches. And she displaced 310 tons. I don't know what that means though. Okay, boat deck, which the boat deck where held the lifeboats during, and that's where they held all the boat deck, the lifeboats during the sinking. That's why obviously they call it the boat deck. And the passengers, of course, waited at the grand staircase while everything was being done, because they had to remove everything and get everything all set up and stuff like that. So that's why they had to wait inside. Okay. The first class staircase was leaded to the gymnasium, and along with the raised roof of the first class lounge, while at the near the deck were the roof of the first class smoking room and were relatively modest second class entrance. The wood covered deck was divided into 4 areas for the officers in first class and passengers and engineers. Second class passengers were respectively lifeboats lined the side of the deck, except in the first class area where there was a gap, so the view would not be spoiled. So, like, they had a different area to go to, I think. If that makes sense. A deck was also called the promenade deck, extended along the entire 546 feet length of the superstructure. It was reserved for the first class passengers and contained the first class cabins, lounge, smoke room, reading and writing rooms, and a palm court. I don't know what that means. I never heard that. B deck. B deck was a bridge deck, which was the top weight-bearing deck of the uppermost level hall, more for first-class passenger accommodations, and it had a restaurant. It had a couple of restaurants. And that was the second class smoking room and entrance hall were both located on the deck. And third class passengers can use it as well. And it was also known, there's like a different area of that deck was also called the poop deck. That's what I'm just reading here. Okay, C deck was shelter deck, which is the highest deck run and uninterrupted from stem to stern, included both well decks. After one was served as part of the third class pomegranate crew cabins when were housed below the forecastle. Third class public rooms housed below the poop deck and between where the majority of the first class cabins were and the second class library. D deck, the salon deck, had 3 large public rooms, first class dining room, reception room as well that belonged to the first class, and second class dining saloon. Oh, saloon, not salon. An open space was provided for third class passengers and for the second class passengers as well. Which is E-deck. E-deck was used for passenger accommodation for all 3 classes, and trammer along ran the passageway, nicknamed Scotland Road in reference to the most famous street in Liverpool, which is Scotland Road, was used by the third class passengers and crew. F deck, which is the middle deck, which is the last complete, mainly accommodated second and third class departments of crew, third class dining, was located there, and there was a swimming pool and Turkish baths and canals. G deck, lower deck, which is the that carried the passengers, and it was the lowest deck, and it had the lowest portholes just above the water line. They had a squash court, a traveling post office where letters and parcels were sorted and ready up for delivery, and where the ship docked, food was also stored there. And G deck, which I just read that. The orb loop decks and the top decks. Below were the lowest level of the ship, below the waterline. It was used as a cargo space as well. The tank top and the inner bottom of the ship's hull provided the platform, which the boilers, engines, turbines, electrical generators were used, and the area of the ship was engine at the boiler rooms, and which have been perfect. I'm seeing. Just want to see. Crew, as the captain of the ship was also Edward Smith, who went down with the maiden voyage as well. And there is a total of 885 crew on board. So that's a lot. And of course, the famous grand staircase was between E deck. Yeah, which connected to also the boat deck. So like I said, that's why they were all waiting in that area while they were getting the lifeboats together. So I think that's pretty much about it. There's nothing really more to say other than it's huge, and it was designed by Thomas Andrews. As well. So yeah, there's just different stuff. You can watch documentaries on it. You can pretty much do anything you want. Ow. You can look up anything. And if you like the Titanic, please let me know down below. Like I said, I know it wasn't much, but I just wanted to say that or do that for a video. And I hope everyone continues to stay safe. And I'm hopefully to do more whipping chats and stuff like that soon. Because I do miss doing it. I think I was just like I said, I was just really burnt out and everything like that. So, end it here. Oh, before I go though, I will show you my room. It is officially open. So I have that table there behind me. My desk and all that still the same. I moved that cart there. That's the thing that my dad made for me, was right there. That's where I'm going to be doing resin. My glitter and everything like that is all there. My diamond beads are in there. That's how I store all my diamond paintings, is in those tubs, those totes right there. And that rack is there, and my other cart is there. So everything is all here. I hope you guys like this video, and I think that's about it. So again, stay safe, everyone.